Let me ask you something. What if your life didn't need a year to change? What if it only needed 7 days of intention? Not luck, not talent, not some big, dramatic transformation, just 7 days of doing the right things over and over again when nobody's watching. Because the truth is, your life isn't shaped by what you do once in a while, it's shaped by what you do daily. Your mornings are sacred. They are the foundation of your entire day, yet most people treat them as an afterthought. They wake up late, grab their phone, scroll through notifications, and react to the chaos around them instead of setting the tone for the day. But here's the truth. The way you begin your day determines the trajectory of your life. You cannot expect to feel motivated, focused, or productive if your first moments are chaotic and reactive. Winning your morning is not just about getting out of bed early. It's about claiming your time, your energy, and your intention before the world demands it from you. When you take this control, you take the first step toward mastering your life. The first act of winning your morning is creating a ritual that centers you. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as 5 minutes of deep breathing, a short meditation, or writing down your intentions for the day. What matters is that you take the time to connect with yourself before the demands of the world hit. This is the moment when your mind is free from distractions, when clarity can emerge. Think of it as sharpening your sword before battle. You wouldn't walk onto a battlefield unprepared. And yet that's how most people enter their day. A morning ritual gives you preparation, focus, and a sense of control. And it is the first habit that separates those who live reactively from those who live intentionally. Physical movement is another crucial element of winning your morning. Even 10 minutes of stretching, yoga, or a short walk can ignite your energy, improve your mood, and set a tone of discipline. When your body is active, your mind becomes active too. You are signaling to yourself that you are ready to face challenges, not avoid them. This daily act of honoring your body builds momentum that carries into every other area of your life. People often underestimate the power of movement, but those who understand it know that mornings are the perfect time to activate not just the body, but the spirit of action within them. Nutrition also plays a surprisingly big role in the mornings. Eating mindfully, hydrating, and fueling your body with intention sets a tone for how you treat yourself throughout the day. Skipping breakfast or grabbing something unhealthy may seem convenient, but it communicates to yourself that your energy and focus are negotiable. When you take the time to eat and drink with purpose, you reinforce the idea that your mornings, and therefore your life, matter. Small acts of care in the first hour of your day have ripple effects throughout every task you tackle and every decision you make. Mental focus is just as important as physical preparation. Avoid jumping straight into your phone, social media, or email. Instead, dedicate the first moments of your day to thoughts that empower and inspire you. This could be listening to a short motivational speech, reading a few pages of a powerful book, or journaling your goals. By doing this, you create a shield against negativity and distraction. The first hour of your day sets your mental temperature, and if you start with clarity and purpose, you enter the world with a quiet confidence that others will notice, whether they say anything or not. Finally, winning your morning is about consistency. One great morning can feel amazing, but it's not enough to change your life. The magic happens when you commit to showing up for yourself every single day, no matter how you feel. Some mornings will be harder than others. Some days you may feel tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. That's when discipline, not motivation, carries you forward. 7 days of intentional mornings can be transformative, but keep going past 7. Because when you win your mornings consistently, you stop being a passenger in your own life. You take the wheel, you dictate the pace, the focus, and the outcome, and you become the person who commands not just the day, but the life you deserve. Growth is never comfortable. The moment you stop challenging yourself, you start shrinking. Every day, there is an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone, to confront fear, uncertainty, or resistance. And yet, most people choose the easy path. They stick to routines that feel safe, tasks that feel familiar, and decisions that avoid risk. But real transformation, the kind that changes your life, happens when you choose the hard path, even if it's just once a day. Doing one difficult thing every day is the practice that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. It's not about being reckless. It's about deliberately pushing the boundaries of what you think you can handle. The hard thing doesn't have to be monumental, but it must challenge you. It could be having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, tackling a project that intimidates you, or making a commitment to yourself that feels uncomfortable. The key is not in the size of the task, but in the act of choosing courage over comfort. Each day you face a small fear, you train your mind and your spirit to handle bigger challenges. By the end of a week, you'll realize that what once seemed impossible is now entirely within your reach. Discipline is built in these daily confrontations with discomfort. Doing one hard thing each day also rewires your perception of failure. Many people fear trying because they equate mistakes with inadequacy. But the truth is that every attempt, every stumble, every imperfect effort teaches you something invaluable. When you make it a habit to tackle difficulty head on, you start to view failure not as a verdict, but as a tool. Failure becomes feedback, resistance becomes opportunity, and gradually the mental barriers that once held you back crumble. You stop waiting for life to hand you success. You go after it, knowing that the lessons along the way are more important than the outcome itself. Another powerful aspect of this habit is the ripple effect it creates. When you confront one challenge intentionally, it builds momentum for all the others. You start the day with a victory, even a small one, and it fuels confidence, energy, and clarity for every task that follows. People will notice the change in you, the quiet determination in your step, the resolve in your words, the refusal to settle for mediocrity. Doing hard things daily doesn't just improve your skill set, it reshapes your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't shy away from life, someone who shows up even when it's tough, someone who wins the day before anyone else even tries. Consistency is where the magic truly happens. One day of doing something hard is a spark, but 7 days in a row is a declaration to yourself and to the world that you are committed to growth. Some days, the hard thing will feel heavier than others. You'll feel resistance from your body, your mind, or even from people around you who prefer you to stay small. That's when the habit becomes transformational. You realize that discipline is forged in adversity, and that showing up consistently in the face of difficulty is what separates ordinary people from those who leave a mark on the world. Finally, doing one hard thing every day builds courage that carries over into every aspect of life. It creates resilience, focus, and an unshakable belief in your own capacity. 7 days of facing difficulty transforms your mindset, your confidence, and your potential. And the truth is, the world respects those who embrace challenge, not those who avoid it. Every small act of courage compounds into momentum. Every challenge you face teaches you something new. And every day you practice this habit, you become a little more unstoppable. Because growth is not about comfort. It's about showing up when it's hard and choosing to win anyway. Your mind is your most powerful asset. It is the command center of your life, the origin of every thought, decision, and action. Yet most people treat it carelessly, letting negative influences, distractions, and unproductive habits dictate their day. Social media, gossip, fear, and self-doubt creep in. And before you know it, your focus is fractured, your energy is drained, and your potential is compromised. Guarding your mind is not optional. It's essential. If you want to transform your life, you must protect your mental space as fiercely as a warrior defends a fortress. Your thoughts are the seeds of your future, and if you allow weeds of negativity and distraction to grow, your garden of success will struggle to thrive. The first step to guarding your mind is awareness. You must recognize what you are feeding it on a daily basis. The books you read, the shows you watch, the conversations you engage in, and even the inner dialogue you carry, all of these shape your perception and your reality. Ask yourself, is this thought, this habit, this influence making me stronger, smarter, more disciplined, more courageous? Or is it weakening me? Awareness is the lens through which you evaluate every mental input. Without it, you are at the mercy of whatever noise surrounds you, and your growth will stall before it even begins. Once you are aware, you must become selective. Protecting your mind means choosing what to consume deliberately. Seek ideas, stories, and influences that challenge you, inspire you, and elevate your thinking. Read something that stretches your understanding, listen to voices that motivate, and engage in conversations that spark growth. At the same time, eliminate or minimize exposure to negativity, toxicity, and mindless distractions. Guarding your mind is like tending a fire. You feed the flames that warm you and fuel progress, and you remove the logs that smoke, suffocate, or extinguish your spark. In 7 days, this simple habit of careful consumption can dramatically shift your perspective. Self-talk is another critical frontier. What you say to yourself matters far more than what others say about you. If your internal dialogue is filled with doubt, fear, and excuses, your actions will mirror that weakness. Instead, practice speaking to yourself with strength, discipline, and belief. Affirm your potential, acknowledge your growth, and remind yourself that setbacks are not failures. They are lessons. The words you repeat inside your mind shape the way you see the world, and ultimately, the way the world sees you. Guarding your mind means being the gatekeeper of your own narrative, ensuring that the story you tell yourself propels you forward rather than holds you back. Mental discipline also requires creating space for clarity and focus. In a world that constantly demands your attention, it's essential to carve out time to reflect, plan, and recharge. Meditation, journaling, or simply quiet contemplation are tools to strengthen your mental resilience. These practices allow you to organize your thoughts, set priorities, and make intentional decisions rather than reacting impulsively to every stimulus. When you protect this space, your mind becomes sharp, calm, and ready for action, a tool of precision rather than chaos. Finally, guarding your mind is not a one-time effort. It is a daily commitment. Every day presents new influences, new distractions, and new choices. Some days will be harder than others. Some moments will test your discipline. But the person who guards their mind consistently builds unshakable resilience, clarity, and confidence. 7 days of protecting your mental space may not solve all your problems, but it will create a foundation for powerful change. Because when your mind is strong, your life follows suit. You cannot control every external circumstance, but you can control the fortress of your mind. And that is where true power begins. Your body is the vessel through which your life flows, yet so many people treat it as if it's replaceable, unimportant, or secondary to real work. They sit for hours, ignore its signals, and wonder why they feel lethargic, unfocused, or unmotivated. But the truth is your energy, your focus, your confidence. They all start with movement. Exercise is not just about appearance, it's about discipline, clarity, and the signal it sends to yourself, I am worthy of my own effort. Moving your body every day, even in small ways, sets a tone of respect, commitment, and vitality that permeates every corner of your life. Physical movement is a reminder that you are alive and capable. It can be as simple as a brisk walk, stretching in the morning, or a short workout. But the act of showing up for your body translates to showing up for your life. When you engage your muscles, your heart, and your lungs, you awaken a force inside you that mirrors discipline in other areas, your work, your relationships, your personal growth. The body and mind are inseparable. Strength in one translates to strength in the other. When you honor your body daily, you honor your potential. Movement also cultivates resilience. Life will throw challenges your way, stress, setbacks, fatigue, and your ability to navigate them is directly connected to your physical and mental stamina. When you commit to moving daily, you teach yourself persistence. You teach yourself to endure discomfort for a greater reward. That morning jog, that push up, that stretch, they're small victories, but they compound. 7 days of intentional movement may seem minor, but it builds a momentum that makes the impossible feel possible, the overwhelming feel manageable, and the excuses feel weak. There's also a mental component to movement that cannot be overstated. Physical activity releases endorphins, sharpens focus, and improves mood. Even 10 minutes of intentional movement can shift your energy from lethargy to alertness, from hesitation to confidence. You become more present, more decisive, more capable of handling the tasks ahead. In essence, moving your body every day is not just a physical act, it's a mental strategy, a tool for clarity, and a practice in mastering your own energy. It's a habit that elevates every decision, every interaction, every opportunity. Discipline is the hidden power behind consistent movement. Some days, you won't feel like it. Your body may ache, your mind may resist, but those are the days that count most. Showing up when it's uncomfortable is the practice that builds character. Every push, every stride, every repetition is a statement to yourself, I refuse to be passive. I will act. When you carry this mindset, movement becomes more than exercise. It becomes a declaration of intent, a ritual that signals to yourself and the world that you are committed to growth in every sense. Finally, moving your body every day reinforces the connection between effort and reward. Life mirrors the energy you put into it, and the discipline you show toward your physical self translates directly into other areas. 7 days of consistent movement can shift your posture, your energy, and your mindset. You begin to see yourself as capable, powerful, and resilient. You no longer wait for motivation. You create it. Every movement becomes a building block, every small victory a reinforcement, and every day an opportunity to become stronger, not just physically, but in spirit and mind. The body, once awakened, carries the confidence and energy that drives transformation in every area of your life. Gratitude is one of the most underestimated forces in human transformation. Most people wait to feel thankful, as if gratitude is a reaction to something extraordinary. But the truth is, gratitude is a choice, a deliberate act, and a habit that can reshape your life in profound ways. When you practice gratitude intentionally, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from complaints to recognition, and from passive existence to active appreciation. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling. It is a lens through which you see the world and yourself, and that lens has the power to transform ordinary days into extraordinary ones. The first step to practicing intentional gratitude is to notice the small things. Life is full of moments that go unseen. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of laughter, a kind word from a stranger, or the comfort of a bed after a long day. These small blessings often pass by unnoticed because we are too focused on what we lack. But when you make a conscious effort to see the good, no matter how minor, you train your mind to focus on abundance rather than deficiency. Over just 7 days, this simple shift can start to change the way you feel about your life and the energy you carry into each day. Next, you must express your gratitude. Writing it down, speaking it aloud, or sharing it with others solidifies the habit. There is power in putting words to the things you appreciate. It turns vague feelings into concrete acknowledgement. Journaling 3 things you are grateful for each morning or evening is a simple yet powerful practice. It forces your mind to actively seek positivity and recognize the impact of even the smallest blessings. Express gratitude becomes a signal to your subconscious that life is full of opportunities and gifts, not just challenges and struggles. Gratitude also rewires your mental and emotional state. When you focus on what you have rather than what you don't, stress diminishes, optimism rises, and resilience grows. Gratitude is the antidote to envy, resentment, and dissatisfaction because it directs your energy toward what is already present and working in your favor. Even in moments of difficulty, finding something to appreciate, lessons learned, strengths discovered, or support received shifts your perspective. This mindset creates a sense of empowerment. Life is no longer happening to you. It is happening with you, and you have the ability to engage with it consciously. Another powerful effect of gratitude is its ability to deepen relationships. When you intentionally recognize the contributions and presence of others in your life, you strengthen bonds and create a network of support. A simple thank you, a note or acknowledgement of someone's effort can transform your interactions and elevate your social environment. Gratitude is contagious. It spreads positivity and respect, and in return, it reinforces your own sense of purpose and fulfillment. 7 days of consistent intentional gratitude can open doors to deeper connection, understanding, and harmony with the people around you. Finally, practicing gratitude is about creating a foundation for long-term transformation. It is not a one-time exercise, but a mindset that, when cultivated daily, alters how you approach challenges, opportunities, and personal growth. By dedicating just a few intentional minutes each day to recognize and express what you are grateful for, you build mental resilience, emotional intelligence, and an inner sense of abundance that no external circumstance can take away. Gratitude shifts your energy, focuses your attention, and aligns you with a life of intention, purpose, and fulfillment. In just 7 days, this simple habit has the power to completely change how you experience your world and yourself. How you end your day matters just as much as how you start it. Too often, people collapse into bed, exhausted, scrolling through their phones, or replaying mistakes in their minds. They go to sleep carrying worry, regret, or unfinished business, and wake up to the same chaos, trapped in a cycle of reaction rather than intention. But what if you treated the last moments of your day as sacred, a time to review, learn, and plan? Ending your day with reflection rather than regret is a practice of mastery. It is the habit that separates those who drift through life from those who grow intentionally every single day. Reflection begins with honesty. Ask yourself, did I show up today? Did I act with purpose? Did I align my actions with my goals? Be truthful with yourself without judgment. Reflection is not about punishment. It is about awareness. By examining your choices, your successes, and even your failures, you uncover insights that are invisible in the heat of the moment. Every day carries lessons, and taking the time to notice them ensures that you are learning, adapting, and improving, rather than repeating the same mistakes unconsciously. This habit also requires focusing on what went well, not just what went wrong. It's easy to fixate on errors or missed opportunities, but that mindset breeds guilt, frustration, and stagnation. Instead, celebrate your wins, big or small, and acknowledge your effort. Recognize the moments when you were disciplined, brave, or kind. These reflections reinforce positive behavior, strengthen self-confidence, and remind you that growth is a journey, not a single event. Ending your day on this note shifts your mindset from self-criticism to self-empowerment. Next, reflection is about planning for tomorrow. Take the insights from today, what worked, what didn't, what challenged you, and decide how you will respond differently or better. Write down your priorities, set clear intentions, and visualize your actions for the next day. By doing this, you enter sleep with clarity, focus, and purpose rather than uncertainty and worry. Reflection transforms experience into actionable wisdom, turning every day into a stepping stone toward progress. Another crucial aspect is letting go of what cannot be changed. Regret is a poison that steals energy and clouds judgment. Ending your day with reflection doesn't mean dwelling on mistakes. It means learning from them and then releasing them. Forgive yourself for the missteps, acknowledge the lessons, and redirect your focus to what you can control. Sleep becomes restorative, not haunted by what ifs or should haves. This practice trains your mind to distinguish between responsibility and unnecessary burden, building emotional resilience that grows stronger every day. Finally, ending your day with reflection reinforces self-mastery. It closes the loop between action and awareness, effort and learning. 7 days of intentional reflection is enough to notice a shift in how you approach life. You act with more focus, respond with more clarity, and grow with more purpose. Reflection transforms ordinary nights into preparation for extraordinary days. It is the quiet, disciplined practice that ensures you are always moving forward, learning continuously, and living with intention. When you make reflection a habit, regret loses its grip and your life begins to unfold with the momentum of deliberate action, day after day. The truth is, change doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't come knocking when life is convenient or when you feel ready. Change comes to those who show up, who take ownership of their mornings, who face discomfort head on, who protect their minds, honor their bodies, practice gratitude, and reflect on their actions. 7 days. That's all it takes to prove to yourself that you are capable of growth, discipline, and transformation. But don't stop there. 7 days is just the beginning. Each day after is another opportunity to reinforce these habits, to expand your limits, and to step closer to the life you've always imagined. Remember, success is not an event. It's a series of small, consistent actions that compound over time. Every choice you make, every habit you adopt, every moment you invest in yourself is a brick in the foundation of the future you deserve. So, I challenge you, start today. Win your mornings. Do the hard things. Guard your mind. Move your body. Be grateful. Reflect. Take ownership of every single day and watch how quickly your life begins to transform. Because the person you want to become isn't waiting somewhere far away. It is already inside you, ready to emerge the moment you decide to take control.